Hey kids, Flexing Teacher Weber here. Wanted to do a short video on, or maybe a couple videos on how to divide a whole number by a fraction and sort of what that means. And so the way we started out was looking at what actual whole number division means. And we talked about what it means when you have 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So what we actually did is we made 6 counters, and the kids, one of the things they said, well, that means 6 divided by 2 means to chop 6 in half, or to make 2 groups of 3, like that. So you could say break 6 into 2 equal groups. And then the question you would ask yourself is, how many are in each group? Well, there are 3 in each group, right? So that's how you get the answer of 3. Now, we also talked about there's another way to think of division. So I'll just make these counters again. We'll start with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the other thing the kids said is, well, if it's not 6 broken into 2 equal groups, it's how many groups of 2 can you make out of 6? Or how many groups of 2 fit inside 6? So you can do that. Count how many groups of 2 fit inside 6. And that's the question you ask yourself. How many groups of 2 fit in 6? And the answer is 3 groups. So that's 2 ways we can think of division. Now, when we're dividing a whole number by a fraction, we want to focus on this way. We want to think of how much of one number fits inside another number. Okay? So where we went to next was we did sort of a word problem to figure this out. So we asked ourselves, if one portion is 1/6 of a tray of lasagna, how many portions are in 3 trays of lasagna? And so what we did is we used rectangles to represent one whole. In this case, one whole tray of lasagna. So since we're talking about 3 trays of lasagna, we want to have 3 rectangles. 1, 2, 3. And it says one portion or one serving is 1/6 of a tray. So we take these trays and we cut them into 6 equal parts. And we talked about how you can do that. You can divide them in thirds and chop the thirds in half. And you get 6 equal parts. And you can do the same thing here. Thirds. And then half those thirds. You can also start off and halve it and then cut the halves into thirds, like that. But now you have your 3 trays of lasagna divided into 6 equal parts. And let's focus in what one serving looks like. One serving looks like that. So I get them to shade that in. We call that 1/6. And this literally is asking, how many one-sixth are in 3. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can feed a lot of people. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the answer to this question is 18. But a lot of kids go, wait a second, we didn't divide it all, we multiplied. And I didn't have to count all those. I could have taken 3 trays of lasagna, multiplied by 6 servings in each tray, and I get 18 servings for my answer. And that is 100% correct. But I also asked them to think of it as a division question. We're also asking ourselves, how many 1/6 are in 3? And as a division question, that would be 3 divided by 1/6. And how many 1/6 are in 3? There are 18 of them. So the connection here is that there's a big connection between multiplying and dividing, correct? So at this point, we don't totally understand it yet. We're just getting started. So let's do another question that's similar to this one. So in each of these questions, we're going to model each division with pictures, and we're going to look for some patterns. So the first question is 4 divided by 1/3. Or more precisely, how do I want the kids to think of it? I want the kids to think of it as how many 1/3 are in 4. So we have 4 rectangles to represent 4 holes. We divide each rectangle into 3 equal-sized parts because we want to know how many 1/3 are in 4. And let's make sure we know what 1/3 looks like. There's 1/3 right there. And we count how many 1/3 are in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The answer to this question is 12. And of course, many people say, I didn't need to count all of those. I could have just done 4 rectangles times 3/3 in each rectangle equals 12 of them. Okay, so are we going to do these drawings all the time? Absolutely not. We're hoping to discover some patterns here. Let's do one more, and then I'm going to end this video and then do another video that takes it a step further. So this is 3 divided by 1/8, or better yet, how many 1/8 are in 3? So 3 rectangles to represent 3 holes, and we want to know how many 1/8 are in 3, so we're going to divide them into 8 parts. You can make 8s by chopping in half, then chopping in 4, and then chopping all your quarters in half, and you get 8 equal parts. Same thing here, half, quarter, half the quarters. Half, quarter, half the quarters. And now we want to count how many 1/8 are in 3 holes. Well, there's 1/8 right there. What I've just shown is 1/8, right? We want to count how many of those 1/8 are in the 3 holes. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we don't need to do all the counting, right? We can say 3 rectangles times 8 equals 24. So the answer to this question, 3 divided by 1/8, is 24. Now hopefully we're picking up some patterns there. We're going to focus on some more patterns in the next video, kick it up a notch. But yeah, be looking for some patterns there. That's all for now. Flexing Teacher, I'm sure not that exciting today, am I? That's all for now. Flexing Teacher Weber out.